Now moving on, the Gambia Ports Authority is looking ahead to major changes as the Port of Banjul is set to be repurposed for real estate development once the new Sanyang Deep Sea Port is operational. The Managing Director of GPA, Ousman Jobarteh, revealed these plans at a press briefing last week. Our model Baji has the details.
The Gambia Ports Authority is preparing for a transformative shift, with Managing Director Ousman Jobarteh unveiling plans to convert the Port of Banjul into a real estate hub. This change, which will take effect following the completion of the Sanyang Deep Sea Port, is, according to the GPA, part of its strategy to enhance trade and development opportunities for the Gambia. The development of the Sanyang Deep Sea Port was formalized through a concessional agreement with Al Barak, one of Turkey's leading port investment companies, in June. This concession marks a significant step for the Gambia's maritime sector, aiming to elevate the country's competitiveness in cargo handling and trade logistics. Jobarteh explained the reasoning behind the repurposing the Port of Banjul. He noted that as a result of the concession with Al Barak, 75% of the port's current area will be transformed into a real estate, allowing the site to be used for commercial and residential purposes.
The 19 master plan was presented, and some of the ADB officials expressed keen interest in developing what came to be known as the integrated port city development. Their idea was that whilst the port is expanding, it should not affect the city in a negative way. Because you realize that most of the environmental concerns and the issues we will have with the city council, particularly with waste management, noise pollution, and traffic congestion, is as a result of the activity around the ferries and the port of Banjul. So there and then we developed a pilot project concept note, and this was signed jointly by the Managing Director of the port, myself, the Mayor of Banjul City Council, Rohim Maliklo, the Chairman of KMC, Mr. Talib Bensouda, and the then Chairman of West Coast Region, Mr. Song. So we signed a joint request, and when it was sent to African Development Bank, within 3 months, they released a grant funding of 3 million euros to government to develop this integrated port city master plan. And one of the results I can say that came out of that funding was there was a mapping exercise that was done, and this zoning and mapping of properties came as a result of that project. So we have a very elaborate, and it's a pilot project for the African Development Bank. So they want to use this model to replicate in interventions in other ports in other countries.
Jobarteh highlighted the economic potential of this change, which he says aligns with GPA's broader strategic goals. The concession with Al Barak's aim to boost the efficiency and capacity of GPA's operation, ensuring that the Gambia can handle growing volumes of trade as the Sanyang Deep Sea Port becomes a pivotal hub for regional and international shipping.
If the activity moves to Sanyang, 75% of the 23 hectares that is within the project scope, because the whole scope will revert to GPA, 75% of that area will now be turned into a property development, a real estate, the construction of a cruise and marina and fishing activity. Well, that will remain under GPA. So we have plans under this concession that when the concession partner moves the activity to Sanyang, the area that is vacated, 75% of that will now be transformed into a property and estate development project under a JV arrangement, separate with the concessionaire. So what that envisages is to now have Banjul be a place for resident and recreation. Half-die would be restored in a way, but with a new facility, and it will be upgraded in a sense. But that estate redevelopment is mentioned in the concession agreement, but it is subject to a separate business proposal that will be structured along the lines of a JV. Because government is mindful that the property would remain with government, and then the future use and the alternative use, that has to be the discretion of government and not the investor. So this is just...
The GPA stresses that the planned transformation of the Port of Banjul is expected not only to create new real estate opportunities, but also contribute to the goal of advancing the national economy through innovative infrastructure projects. For Star TV, I am Model Baji.